Hey everyone, welcome to Smart Stats Podcast. My name is Moaz.
And my name is Prav. And this week's episode is about the pros and cons of democracy or a democratic system.
Yeah, so obviously Prav and I support democracy over all the other systems, but this video is just us talking about its pros and cons.
Okay, so let's start off with a positive. This is that in a democratic system, every adult has a say in the government and who gets elected.
True, but this is only limited to us choosing local MPs and mayors and eventually the Prime Minister, since we live in Canada. But this is still a huge thing.
Yes, and every other form of government only gives power to the leader at the top and then to the people who the leader appoints. Whereas in a democracy, the people choose who they want to give power to, and those individuals make the decision.
Yep, I agree. But again, our power is only limited. Once we have elected the House of Commons and the Senate, they make all the decisions. Whether we like it or not, they can make bills and laws that they want without our consent or opinions.
Here's the catch though. If a politician makes a law that is too extreme and people don't like, the politician will probably not get elected again.
True, I guess this balances things out. Now, for a negative. In a democracy, due to the different levels of a government, it takes a lot of time and negotiations for things to happen.
Exactly. Everyone's opinion matters. So the ideas have to go through the House, then the Senate, and eventually the different ministers. It takes a lot of time for this entire process to occur, and at each level, all parties debate about whether this bill should be accepted or not.
Whereas in a dictatorship, only the dictator's opinion matters. He can make a decision within minutes and pass it. And that's a good thing about a democracy. Although it is a problem that it takes time to get things passed, it stops us from ever becoming a dictatorship. Everyone's opinion always holds value, so no one can force anything.
Absolutely. And here is another pro for democracy, and that is that this creates a system which allows the economy to grow. It creates such a system in which big businesses can also see progress and small family businesses can also benefit. And this is why, through this type of government, there has been an increase in the GDP of Canada.
There is also a big problem with this. Since the government can't force businesses to make certain decisions, it could lead to a lot of exploitations and poverty, as we've seen.
Yup, and if enough people vote on it, a decision could be made which is bad for the economy.
Now, for our final negative reason, and this is a huge problem, and both Prab and I agree on that. This problem is that a multi party system divides the entire nation and forces everyone to think about themselves. With everyone having so many choices, they will immediately jump to vote for the party or the people that help them and their situation the most without thinking about the rest of the country, the environment, the economy, or the world.
Absolutely. This is a huge problem because rather than voting on a candidate that is best for everyone, people start voting based off of their personal emotions and feelings. Also, this can lead to a situation where the majority takes advantage of the minority. If enough people vote for an opinion, the minority's opinion does not matter anymore.
True. But here's the one positive thing about a multi party system this is that it forces all politicians and parties to care about the minority's opinions, as this will give them more votes. A rich politician, for example, can't only think about rich people, as he will lose out from votes from people of all the other classes.
True. Because of the incentive of votes, they have to start thinking of stances that will help the people most, as this will give them the most amount of votes.
Yep. So, those were the pros and cons of a democratic system.
And that is the end of today's discussion. And I think we both think that despite all the cons, a democracy is still a very efficient and positive system.
Yep, I fully agree. But we can always improve and make things better. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.